All right. Happy Monday, everybody. I know some of you guys are coming from Lori's strength class. Welcome to Stretch. This is just going to be a quick 10 to 15 minute stretch break. Just kind of meant for some of you guys in the middle of your day, whether you did strength or not. The only thing you guys will need today is some type of elevated surface as a coffee table, a couch, and then preferably a mat or a pillow that you can put under your knees, okay? So not a lot of equipment. Got some chill music on today. Again, my name is Kayla, guys. This is Stretch. Let's go ahead and get started with our feet underneath those hips. We're going to start off with some deep inhale. So I want you to inhale, reach up to the ceiling, and exhale, sweep those arms down. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Big inhale up, and exhale down. Hopefully you're off to a nice, relaxing Monday. But if you're a little stressed, really focus on these deep breaths here. One more like this, and then we're going to start sweeping our hands down toward our feet, and we're going to hang there. So let's do this next one together. So I want you to take a deep inhale up, and exhale. We're going to swan dive down toward the floor. You can either put your hands on your thighs, shins, or reach toward your toes. Hang there nice and loose. Good. One vertebrae at a time. We're going to ease it back up. Big inhale, sweep up. And exhale, we're going to swan dive a little bit lower. Good. One vertebrae at a time. Last one, guys. We're going to feel the stretch. Inhale up. And exhale down. Let's see how low we can go. Good. Slowly bring it back up. We're going to spread those feet a little bit wider. And now I'd like you to go ahead. We'll do one more inhale just to do it. And then exhale. We're going to reach down for that right foot. So you should feel that stretch in your legs here. Good. We're going to walk it to center. You don't have to touch the floor here, guys. Get a nice flat back if you have any back pain. Good. Walk it over to the left side. Good. Walk it back to center. Again, one vertebrae at a time. Bring it up as you walk your feet in underneath those thighs. Oh, let's bring it up nice and tall. We're going to take our left hand on our left hip. We're going to do a small reach over. So we're just going to gently reach to our side. Good. We're going to switch over other side. Good. Bring it back to center. Let's take those wrists together. Interlace those fingers. Push the palms of our hands toward the front of the room. And now I want you to act like someone is pulling those hands with a string up above your head. Lengthen through that spine. Again, focusing on your breath. Good. Taking those hands behind our back if you can here. Interlacing those fingers again. Pulling those shoulders back. You can gently lean forward if you'd like. Good. Gently bring it back up. We're going to move our way down to our couch. Or again, if you have a coffee table or elevated surface here. All right. So in this next one, I suggest taking a pillow or again, rolling up a mat, having some form of comfort underneath your knee. We are going to start out by stretching our quad and hip flexor, especially from sitting down all day. I know some of you guys will have been sitting for a few hours, but still super beneficial and if you came out of strength. So what I'd like you to do, using either that coffee table or that couch, we're going to get that pillow or your matted support, and we're going to place the back of our right foot up on top of that elevated surface, getting that knee right underneath that hip. We're going to slowly walk it up to a lunge position. And from here, again, trying to get that knee under that hip or as close to that surface as you can. And from here, I want you to act like you've got a string on that pelvis and it's being pulled forward. You should feel that stretch right there, okay? I want you to close your eyes, breathe through this. It's not always the most comfortable stretch. A few more seconds here. Good, we're gonna slowly bring it back down. We're gonna switch knees. Again, bring it into that lunge position, slowly walk it on up. Again, watching our position here, still pushing that hip forward, closing our eyes, focusing on our breath. A few more seconds here. Good. When you're ready, we're going to gently come out of that stretch. You can actually bring it to the floor here. If you do have a pillow or a yoga block, I'd keep it near you, especially for a modification for our next move. So next up, we're going to be doing a pigeon stretch. So the pigeon stretch might need you to have a little bit of an elevated surface to put your arms on. So please modify if needed. What I want you to do to start, we're going to start on our stomach on the floor, hands underneath those shoulders. We're going to gently roll up to cobra. And when you're ready, we're going to shoot those hips back toward the ceiling. You can pedal those feet for a second here in downward dog. All right, so next up's going to be that pigeon pose. Please feel comfortable doing what works best for your body on this. So I want you to take your right leg up toward the ceiling, and we're going to weed it right underneath our chest, and we're going to gently bring it down to the floor. Now, some of you guys are going to be up here. Again, you can use that yoga block or pillow, but if you can, I want you to slowly work your way down to the floor. Again, if you can kind of see here, my shin is pulled underneath my chest. I feel this in my right glute and hip. And when you're ready, I'd like you to just slowly bring it down, close your eyes again if you need, and focus on that breath. Good. We're going to gently come out of that stretch. We're going to bring that right leg back. Same thing. Let's start from the beginning. We're going to start on the floor in that cobra position. Pushing ourselves up. And when you're ready, taking it back, downward dog. Pushing those hips, pedaling those heels if you can. And let's take that left leg up to the ceiling and bring it on through. Now you might have one hip that's a little tighter than the other, so be gentle. Ease down when you're ready. We have a few more seconds here. When you're ready, and you can scoot that pillow or yoga block away if you're using one. We're going to carefully bring our left leg back to the floor. Bring it back up to cobra. And this time when you're ready, we're going to sit back in our heels toward child pose. reaching those fingertips, pushing our chest down toward the floor. From here, we're going to bring it up to all fours. So I want you to recheck yourself, get those hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath those hips. And we want a nice strong core. We're going to go ahead and do a couple cat-cows just to loosen up that back. So if this is something new to you, I want you to roll up that back up to the ceiling, arching like a cat, and then letting that belly button sink, opening up through that spine. And I want you to go at your own pace here. And we're going to do it one more time together. Good. You can take a quick child's pose if you need between. And when you're ready, I want you to still sit back in your heels. It's a little bit higher than the child's pose, so we're not all the way down here. We're a little bit elevated. Walk those hands in a little bit. And what our next one's going to look like, we're going to open up our thoracic spine and our chest a little bit here before you get back to work. So this is going to be one of our last moves. What I want you to do is you're going to take your right palm. We're going to roll it right underneath our left arm, reaching. You should feel a stretch in your shoulder blade. Then I'm going to keep my elbow slightly bent. I'm going to rotate up just until I feel a little bit of a stretch in my chest. I'm not going way back to where I feel it all in my low back. I want to stop when I feel that stretch. So again, it's going to look like a rotation, reaching, feeling a stretch in our shoulder blade, and slowly lifting up, okay? So we're going to do 5 on each side. It's not a lot, so you should take your time, and then we'll switch sides. Let's go ahead and begin in 3, 2, and 1. So we're reaching under and rotating up. Again, focusing on breathing nice and even the whole time. You might feel tight here. This might actually be more complicated than it looks. Good, I'm going to switch sides here. Back to child's pose when you finish. And it's okay if you're still finishing up and you're taking your time. When you're ready, we're going to bring it to seated position. I want you to sit up nice and tall, pull your shoulders back, palms up on those knees. Again, shoulders are down and away from our ears. Take a deep breath. And when you're ready to resume, I want you to take that right ear down toward your right shoulder. You could add some gentle pressure here if you'd like. And slowly look past that right shoulder, feeling that stretch across your neck. Good, we're gonna bring it back to center. Left ear down toward left shoulder, again adding pressure if you'd like. And looking past that left shoulder. And last stretch, guys. Let's bring it back to center. We're going to take our left hand outside of our right knee, gentle twist to the side. and back to center. Right hand goes outside of our right knee, left hand behind us, gentle twist. And back to center. Thank you guys so much for joining me for our chill 15-minute stretch break on this Monday. Please drop a comment if you did Lori's strength class or if you did stretch. Remember, if you didn't have time for it right now to finish the whole thing, you can always do it later in your day. Thank you guys so much and have a good rest of your Monday.